So let me quickly finish the rules. Number 4, and it's been talked about, do not borrow to consume. Yeah, and all these 10 points will be up on our blog. Do not borrow to consume. There is good debt and there is bad debt. Please keep the presentation on. So good debt allows you to acquire assets. Bad debt, you acquire what? Losses, yeah? So limit, if you have to borrow for the right reasons, the things that can actually make you wealthy. Multiply your resources. I got you to do this exercise. The problem we have is we make money 5 days a week, but we're spending money for how many days? 7 days. And if I was to define wealth creation, I would actually say wealth creation is the multiplication of resources. The biggest resource you have, what is the one resource we are all given? Time. Yeah? How do you use your time? You can use your time to acquire knowledge to get those assets. You can use your time to open a business, to network with people who can get your business or investment idea off the ground, to start the right investment groups, as Wamboi was telling us. You can use your time to increase your knowledge on investments. You can use your time to enhance your skills. And what we do in Centonomy is we really focus on those non-financial assets as well. What are the skills that you have that you could actually be using? Next rule. Know why you want to make money. If I say my magic number is 10 million and I make 10 million shillings, what happens when I have 10 million? What tends to happen when I have 10 million? I'll want more. We have to understand that money is a moving target. It doesn't make you happy. When I have 10 million, I'll want 15. When I have 15, I'll want 30. So why do you want to make money? And this is why you have to connect with what's important to you. If you are alone in this world, what would you still want to be doing? Yeah? And this is when people come up with like what Esther was alluding to. She wants to travel. For other people, they want to spend time with their families. They want to leave a legacy behind. What is it that you want money to do? Because money is a tool or a resource for the life you want. Money is not the life. We have to make that very clear. Then once you understand what you value, then you're not that influenced by other people's opinions. We get influenced by other people's opinions a lot because we've not come to terms with what we actually value. Keep the right company. David talked about this. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are those 5 people a poverty support group or are they a wealth creation support group? Yeah. You are the company you keep. Yeah. What does a poverty support group say? Apufia was talking about it earlier. What are the words of a poverty support group? I'm broke. I can't do it. The economy is in recession. The interest rates are too high. Our employer should pay me money. My clients are not paying me on time. That is going to keep you in what I call survival mode. Are we here because we want to stay in survival? No. I encourage you to get and identify people who will be your wealth creation support group. Their conversations are not about how we can't do it. Their conversations are about how we can do it. These are the ideas. Yes, their interest rates are high, but this is how we can do it. I may not have 1 million shillings, but maybe I know 10 people who can get 100,000, right? Or 20 people who can get 50,000. Or 100 people who can get 10,000. However the maths works. So put yourself in the right company. Rule number 8. Cash is king. There's a reason they say cash is king. Even when we're talking about investments, it always ends up being ultimately about investments that generate income. Ultimately. So there are 3 things any investment is going to do for you. A, it can generate an income. It will grow the value of your money. it will keep your money safe. And you'll go through very different seasons in life where these three things, you may be a season where, you know what, let me grow my money. You may be in a season where you're like, now my priority is keeping money safe. You may be in a season where it's about income. But income, especially, you know how Kenyans like plots. In our classes, we have seen people who have 20 plots in 20 counties. 1/16 of an acre in 20 counties, yeah? Ultimately, when you're retired, yeah? Even you're young, one day you will retire. When you are retired, what will be important to you? Will the plots give you money to go to the supermarket and buy bread and milk? You have to have built assets that, over time, that generate income. At the end of the day, it is a cash flow game. You can have acres, and we've seen it in our classes. People who have acres and acres of land, but they can't go to the shop and buy bread and milk. So their balance sheet may be looking healthy, but they can't afford day-to-day expenses. They're going back and relying on their children. So ultimately, you will need to have assets that give you cash flow. What is your plan for that? Yeah. Rule number, like for example, why this income is so important. If your lifestyle is 100,000 shillings today, next year what will it cost? More or less? More. The same lifestyle because of inflation. So a rough calculation, in 10 years, the same lifestyle will cost you 400,000 shillings. So you walk where you live, the car you drive, your fuel, the brand of goods you're buying, if your lifestyle stays exactly the same quality, it will cost you 400,000 shillings in 10 years. Does that scare you a bit? So we've got to start planning for that as early as possible. Rule number 9, it's not all about you. Mainazimio alluded to this. It's not all about you. The thing with money, and when we're teaching campus edition this season, there are a lot of our students who are telling us they had business ventures, even running business ventures in campus, but what was the point of the business venture? What was the aim? To get the money to go to the hang, to go out. Is that a business venture that will grow or stay small? When it's all about you and only you, you'll stay small. It has to be things like, we have to think about, what are you teaching? For those who have children, what children as early as 3 years old start picking up financial habits from you. As early as 3 years old. If you walk with them into a shop and all the time you are buying what they ask for, what are you teaching them? So when they get a job, fast forward to when they're 20 years old, when they get a job, what are they going to be doing? Buying whatever they want. They were taught from when it was 3 years old. And some of the problems we face is because of how we observed our own parents or how we were socialized about money. We have to think, legacy. What are you going to leave behind? When you are gone, what are you going to be remembered for? And it's not just the money. It's maybe whose life have you changed? What have you given? And I say give with a caveat. There's a giving that empowers, but there's also a giving that creates dependence. We want to give in an empowered manner. The giving that empowers other people, and whose life have you impacted. So just to rule number 10, and you can get all this on our website, or if you've downloaded the app, it will be on the blog on the app very shortly. Rule number 10, as I end, the clicker has worked over time. It's not a deal that is going to get you here. Did you hear anyone coming to talk about a deal? What have they talked about? Process. There's a reason we said there are going to be a couple of people sharing their journeys. You've had people who are in professions. You've had the journey of people who are in business. One way is not necessarily the right way. You can be in business, but it doesn't mean you're wealthy. As Roy challenged people, can your business run without you? That is and to put up a business structure that can do that, that is a process. You're employed, but do you have assets that if you left your job today, maybe something happened, you couldn't work. Maybe you are retrenched. If you left your job, can you sustain the same lifestyle? Whichever way you choose, and in Centonomy, we don't push you in any one way. We just get you to understand yourself and understand what you want to do. Do you have that plan? So it's not a deal. Kenyans will love deals. One day, at an unspecified point in time in the future, a deal will come, right? That will just magically sort my problems out, right? No. Yeah? No one here, I haven't found a deal person to come and talk here. It's a process. And the fact of it's a process, it's about understanding today. From today, you have a choice. You have a choice how you spend your money. And we're not saying these things are bad to have. It's okay. It's good to have and enjoy life. But think beyond just the life think beyond today, instant gratification. It's about the choices you make with the company you keep. The choices you make, what are you going to expose yourself to learn? The choices you make with your conversations. Saying I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke all the time will do what? Keep you broke, because all you will see is brokenness. Yeah? So it's choice. It's not chance. It's not a surprise. It's not a deal. It's about vision, not survival. We teach in our class, survival will keep you surviving. The rat race that I showed you, if something doesn't change in that rat race, and it could be as simple as how you spend your time, you will keep surviving. But we want to think and say, think bigger, think longer. You can do a lot more than you think you actually can. It's about action, not just ideas. Everyone has an idea. Everyone. Do all of you have an idea of how you can make money? Yeah? Did you have that idea even last year? So we all have ideas, but what didn't happen? Action. Yeah? So we've got to start acting, and it's about empowering yourself, not creating a dependence. You're in a job, yes. Get empowered in that job. Don't become a dependent of that job. Do you understand the difference? You're in a business. Get empowered in your business. Don't become a dependent of your business. You have friends. When people control you and you're buying things because of what other people think, you've become dependent on them. So get empowered to think for yourself and make the right choices for yourself. As I said, these 10 rules will be up on our blog. You can download them. If you've not written them down, you can just download them off our blog and get access to them. So the journey that we take you through in Centonomy, in a nutshell, whichever course you take, first, it's to get you to understand yourself. Michael Jackson sang a song called Facing the Man in the Mirror. So it's, where are you spending money? What do you have? Where are your beliefs coming from? So it's really about you. The next part is, where are you going, that we address. What are your goals? And realistically, what are they going to cost? And what are you going to do about it? One very important topic we tackle is time value of money. You'll get to understand, if I save 1,000 shillings per month for 12 years, what is that actually going to do for me? It's debt. Understanding how to get out of debt that you no longer want to have. How debt works, basically what the banks do not tell you, and how to build assets on debt. So debt is not necessarily a bad thing, it's just how we use it. Living abundantly is really about our mind. It's about shifting attitudes. Looking at you see, with money, what we've learned, everything that is going you don't like, it's a way of thinking that has created it. The only way to change that is to change how we think. Are you thinking a bit differently today? Yeah, that's what we try to do. There's the wealth creation. You learn how to invest. So you go to the stockbroker, not for the stockbroker to tell you what to do, but because you have now understood the information and you can ask the right questions. We teach you about property. We teach you about treasury bills, treasury bonds. We teach you about shares. We teach you about the basics of starting your business. We teach you about mine was talking about investment groups. We go very thoroughly into how to transform your investment group into a wealth creation vehicle. Investment groups are extremely powerful, but many of us are not using them in the right way. And at the end of it, we also teach you to protect yourself. So what you will experience is first a change in attitude, combined with skills. You've got expert facilitators. I teach some of the classes, Stanley teaches some of the classes, and we have about 8 other facilitators who teach these classes. They're experts, they're lawyers, they're tax experts, they're investments experts, they're property experts. So it's not a school, it's interactive. You ask questions, and there's a lot of group work. You will do homework. It won't be collected, but you will go and do assignments on yourself. Yeah, most of them won't be collected. You'll network. Remember, we talked about a wealth creation support group. You go and meet other people. We start this intake in 3 weeks, Tuesday, February 10th. You have class options, weekdays 6 to 8:30 p.m., Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we have Saturday 9 to 11:30 a.m. So it's flexible. If you miss a class, let's say you sign up for the Tuesday 6 to 8:30 p.m. class. If you miss a class, you can come Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. You understand? So each class is being taught by the same facilitator that week and the same content. So it's quite flexible if you miss a class. The cost structure is your lunch. Before I go into the price, the cost is your lunch. See, all of you are nodding when I gave that example of 300 bob for lunch. You can afford the cost. So today, registration is 1,000 bob today for this class. Tomorrow, registration reverts to 1,500 shillings. The cost is 2 monthly installments of 12,000 shillings and the last monthly installment of 9,000 shillings. It is your lunch money. It is money you're already spending on other things. And we have classes in Westlands and town. Both venues are very accessible by public transport, and there's parking available in both our venues. So you'll get the details as you walk out outside as you register. Then we have the class Wamboi went for. It's a campus edition where we now break down the principles of money for that age group in particular, about 17-23, campus university going age. It's 5 weeks. It's shorter, but the classes are slightly longer. They go for 3 hours. We start February 20th, and they have options of Friday and Saturday for this class. And the same registration, again, is 1,000 but 500 today. The cost structure is, for this particular class, we allow people to pay in 4 installments. So you can actually pay 4 installments of 2,500. It will be 3 of 2,500 and the last one of 2,200. Total cost of 9,500. Smoky's money. Smoky's money, yeah? Again, something I learned today. Again, venues, Westlands and town. So back to my cycle. Work harder, earn more money, buy more things, keep going. What do you think changes this? What's the one thing that changes this cycle? It could be how you spend money, yes. It could be what you expose yourself to. It could be what you learn. It could be the conversation you choose to have today. But at the end of the day, as I started in the beginning, what changes this cycle is what you start observing. If you go out there and continue observing lack, you will see lack. But if you go and say, the people who stood up here, they've done it. They're normal. They're in the same country. I can also do it. And you start putting action, something definitely will happen. So please, you've been seeing our social media up. Please join us. Keep talking to us. And mine is to say the registration tables are all set up outside. Thank you very much for attending our 5th Centonomy Open Day. We hope to see you in the class. We have done 60 students in the campus edition so far, and we have done over 1,500 in the Centonomy class. We hope you will join that family. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you. And myself and my team are still here to answer any questions that you may have.